Bonjour mes amis et bienvenue à Parlons Francais. I'm so glad you're with me today. I'm looking forward to another great class with you. Last time we were together, we ended up talking about the family. Now, have you been talking about your family in French? I hope so. It's such a great topic to really use a ton of different things like your possessive adjectives, mon, ma, mes, and all kinds of things we can bring in. Now, we'll be talking about, I know you probably said, I'm not sure how to do age yet. I don't know how to talk about their ages. Don't worry, we're going to get to that very soon, and we'll be able to use the verb avoir, which means to have, because we don't say, I am 40 years old or whatever. We say, I have 40 years. So just let that one roll around a little bit, and maybe you can go do your research and get started on that on your own. To kick off the class today, let's go back and look at those family words again, just to do a quick little pronunciation review with those. Remember the family, I want you to say this, la famille. La famille. And let's talk about myself. I'm just saying me, myself, moi. Moi. That's an easy one. We've heard that before. My sister is ma sœur. Ma sœur. And my brother is mon frère. Mon frère. And my father, my dad, mon père. Mon père. And my mother is ma mère. Ma mère. My cousin who is a boy, mon cousin. Mon cousin. And my cousin who is a girl, ma cousine. Ma cousine. My uncle, mon oncle. Mon oncle. And my aunt, ma tante. Ma tante. My grandfather, mon grand-père. Mon grand-père. My grandmother, ma grand-mère. Ma grand-mère. And a son, fils. Fils. Daughter, fille. Fille. And just a quick note, sometimes when you say jeune fille, young, jeune, you say jeune fille, sometimes that just implies a young girl. That's just a little extra trivia for you there. Now a nephew, neveu, neveu, and niece, nièce, nièce. And together, if I'm talking about nieces and nephews together, remember we're going to use that masculine form. And since it ends in an EU, we don't put an S on it, we put an X. With EUs and AUs in French, we put X. So, les neveux, les neveux. And a child in general is l'enfant, l'enfant. And remember, the word child itself is masculine, okay? Now, let's use a couple of sentences just to put it in context. We looked at some of these last time. If I'm saying that's my sister, c'est ma sœur. C'est ma sœur, that's my sister. Elle s'appelle Margot. Her name is Margot. And we also introduced our brother. C'est mon frère. C'est mon frère. He's my brother. Il s'appelle Joseph. And we told you last time that c'est, C''est, in the plural, breaks into ce sont. Ce sont. That means they are, those are, okay? So, I'm introducing these people. Ce sont mes parents. Ce sont mes parents. Those are my parents. Their names are Robert et Yvonne. So, il s'appelle Robert et Yvonne. Il s'appelle Robert et Yvonne. All right. Now, I think that's enough review of that. So let's move into something that's going to take off the word mon and ma and me. Since I gave you those possessive adjectives, how to say my, we're going to look at the other ones. So get ready with your cahier, your notebook, your stylo, your pen, or your crayon, your pencil. And let's get the rest of those possessive adjectives. Now, we're going to draw a chart. Surprise. We're going to use a chart, and we're going to put these where they go, and there's going to be a few different words in each box this time, okay? The reason is because we're going to have singular, plural, and our singular, masculine, singular, feminine, and plural. There we go. Masculine, feminine, plural. We'll start with my, because we've already looked at that, so we're going to actually use it as an example. So up here in our top block, we're going to put the word mon, M-O-N, and now we're going to put the word ma, M-A, and we're going to put the word mes, M-E-S. So all three of those words mean my, but remember mon is the masculine, ma is the feminine, and mes is the plural. So a while ago we said mon oncle, my uncle, and we said ma tante, my aunt, and we say mes parents, my parents, together, collectively plural. All right, I think you get the idea. Let's use the other ones now in the second space over here in the middle on the left, where we normally talk about everything that has to do with you. We're going to put these three words. Ton, T-O-N, ta, which T-A, and te, T-E-S. Now, all three of those words mean your. There's just something that belongs to you. It's your something. Maybe it's your mother, your father now, your sister, your brother. Okay? So let's use them as an example. First of all, we have ton. Remember a while ago we said mon oncle. Now your uncle, ton oncle. Your aunt, ta tante. Or your parents, tes parents. Right? And let's look at the bottom left. We have sont, ça, and c'est, S-E-S. So all of these on the left side are very similar. Sont, his book, son livre, you could say. Or sa tante, her aunt. If you want to use family words again. Her parents, ses parents. All right, now let's go up to the top right and put everything that has to do with us. So in English, this would be our something. Remember, all of these have nouns after them. You have to say my something, his something, okay? So our is, we're only going to put two here. It's notre and nos, N-O-S. So the N-O-T-R-E, notre, that implies our something that can be masculine or feminine. But when it's our something plural, it's no. Okay? So you've probably seen the first one, I know, if you watch college football, Notre Dame. We like to say Notre Dame, but in French it's Notre Dame. And what is Notre Dame in Paris? It's a very famous church. I've been there several times. It's beautiful. It's guarded by the gargoyles that look off the top into Paris, down at the Seine River. Go and visit it if you can. But Notre Dame is actually a cathedral. It's a very beautiful old cathedral from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So notre and nos means our, something singular and something plural. You can probably guess what the next one is on the right because it's going to be just like that, but starts with what letter? A V. You are correct, I'm sure. Votre and vos. Votre and vos. So votre, your something singular, your something plural. Now, sometimes people get confused when they start talking about the plural side. They say, votre, oh, that means your something, and they confuse the object with the person. So they'll say things, I hear students sometimes say, oh, well, wait a minute. It should be vos because you're talking about it's your plural. But that's not what we're talking about. We already know votre already implies, it can imply you plural, all of you. So votre, the way we determine masculine or singular or plural is what we're talking about, the object, your what. If that what is singular, it's votre. If that your something is plural, then it's vos. So it has to do with the object that's modified by this possessive adjective. Okay, hope that makes sense. And now On the bottom, we have one word, leur, L-E-U-R-S, leur. And it already ends with an S. So it can be leur maison, their house. These brothers and sisters live in that one house, so leur maison. Or it can be their cars. They have more than one car, so now it'd be leur voiture. Now it's more than one. It's still the same word. Best thing you can do, as I keep telling you, is practice, practice, practice. And that way it's going to just sound right to you. You're going to have these down. All right, let's look at some examples. Back again, we started with this one. We'll take the chart off the board now and put our examples up. And we have, that's my uncle. C'est mon oncle. C'est mon oncle. That's my uncle. Okay? And so we've seen that one before. That's my sister. C'est ma sœur. C'est ma sœur. We've seen a couple of these before. And those are my aunts. Ce sont mes tantes. Ce sont mes tantes. Those are my aunts. Now let's look at the other ones. Let's use the form that means yours, directly talking to you, somebody I know well. Is that your father? C'est ton père. C'est ton père. Is that your father? Or I might ask you, is that your sister? Now we're going to use the feminine form of it. C'est ta sœur. C'est ta sœur. Is that your sister? All right. But now, plural. Are those your sisters? Ce sont tes sœurs. Ce sont tes sœurs. Are those your sisters? All right. Now let's go to some of the plural ones. Let's look at the masculine and feminine of our. That is our uncle. C'est notre oncle. C'est notre oncle. That is our uncle. Now, again, notre is singular because oncle is singular. Okay? And although we're talking about it's ours and we're plural, it has to do with what the object is. Okay? Those are our aunts. That is our uncle. C'est notre oncle, but those are our aunts. Ce sont nos tantes. Ce sont nos tantes. Okay? Hope this is making sense to you. Now, the votre would be the same. If I wanted to say, that is your uncle, it'd be the same thing, but we would use c'est votre oncle, meaning your plural. C'est votre oncle, or those are your aunts. Ce sont vos tantes. Ce sont vos tantes. We just changed notre to votre, or nos to vos. It's the same thing. You guys got the idea, I know. Now, that is their brother. C'est leur frère. C'est leur frère. That's their brother. Those are their brothers. Look at this one. Ce sont leurs frères. Ce sont leurs frères. All right. Now, again, try your own family. Start describing your family. Now, bring in those possessive words. Form your own questions now. Before we talked about our family, now start forming your own questions using possessive adjectives. That is how you'll become really smooth at talking about your family. All right. Now, I want to introduce something that we've not talked about yet, and that is negatives. Now, we've used verbs in the affirmative form and the positive form. We've not talked about how to do negatives yet, meaning you don't do something. It's not hard. We're going to use two different words, all right? I want you to start using these in your practice. Remember this one, je suis, I am? All right. We're going to insert two words to make it negative. Now, this might not make a lot of sense to you when I try to explain it in English, but just know that it does make perfect sense in French. It's like English when you ask somebody, what's up? That's not going to make a lot of sense to a person learning English, is it? Because they think up means up, direction-wise. So why do we ask somebody what's up when we want to know what's going on? Nobody can explain it. So it's one of those things you just have to take in context. And we're going to use these two words. I'm going to put them down below. Je suis is ne, N-E, and then the other word we're going to use is pas, P-A-S. The ne is really saying it's not done. It's the word that means it's negated. It's not done. Doesn't happen. And then the pas at the end means not. Remember a few episodes ago we said pas mal, not bad. So not means, pas means not. Okay. What's going to happen here? We've got je suis and we've got ne pas at the bottom, right underneath it. What's going to happen is we're going to take the ne and we're going to push it right up before suis. Je ne suis, and the pas is going to go after suis. So this is what we have. Je ne suis pas. I am, je suis. I am not, je ne suis pas. Now, once you really start speaking French, especially if you go to France and you get a speaking partner on the internet or whatever, you start speaking it, you'll hear people kind of run that together. Je ne suis pas. So sometimes it starts to run together. It's like in English when we say I am going to becomes I'm gonna go now. So we run things together. Je ne suis pas can sometimes become je ne suis pas. It's kind of fast like that. But you'll hear the n and you'll hear the pas and you'll understand what it means. All right? Let's look at we are. Let's erase our board and now put up we are. Nous sommes. Now let's take a guess at how we would make this negative. We are, now let's say we are not. Well, we're going to put ne and pas. Now some is our verb. So remember, ne and pas goes on each side of the verb. So here we go. Nous ne sommes pas. Nous ne sommes pas. And now we say we are not. Okay? Let's look at the they form. Ils sont. Ils sont. They are. Let's put ne in front of sont, and let's put pas after sont. Ils ne sont pas. Ils ne sont pas. All right? And now it says they are not. I go. And we don't have to just use this with être, the verb être. We can use it with any verb out there that we've learned or learn in the future. So let's look at this phrase. Je vais. Je vais. I go. How do you say I don't go? I want to give you a second to think about that. I don't go. Okay. Put the ne in front of the verb, which is vais, and the pas after it. Je ne vais pas. I can ask you, est-ce que tu vas aujourd'hui? Are you going today? Est-ce que tu vas aujourd'hui? Now say, I'm not going today. Je ne vais pas aujourd'hui. Je ne vais pas aujourd'hui. I'm not going today. Okay, let's look at vous allez. Vous allez. You're going, or you are going. Now I want to say you're not going. Got to do something a little different here now. We're going to still use ne. We're going to still use pas. No problem. But look at this. I'm going to go ahead and put this up there for you. Vous n'allez pas. Vous n'allez pas. Why is it vous n'allez pas? Well, because aller starts with an adjective, with a vowel, and ne ends with a vowel, right? So we're going to take the ne, the e off, and it's going to combine apostrophe, and it becomes n'allez. Vous n'allez pas. And there you go. All right. Now, let's see if we can bring it into our family discussion. I'm going to ask you, vous avez trois frères? Vous avez trois frères? What am I asking you? Do you have three brothers? Now, why am I using the vous form instead of tu? Well, because maybe I'm just getting to know you and I still want to use the vous form to show what? Respect. Exactly. So, vous avez trois frères? Do you have three brothers? And you say, no, I do not have three brothers. It would look like this. Non, je n'ai pas trois frères. Je n'ai pas trois frères. I don't have three brothers. J'ai un frère. J'ai un frère. I have one brother. So the n and the e become one because it's vowel and vowel next to each other, the e and the a. So the e goes away, comes apostrophe, all right? Is that your father? I just want you to see a lot of examples of this today. C'est ton père. C'est ton père. Is that your father? Now, a while ago, we said, yeah, that's my father. Now, we're going to say, no, that's not my father. That's my uncle. All right? So, non. Now, we're going to break up the word c'est. Remember, c'est is a combination of the words se, C-E, and E-A-T, E-S-T. So, we're going to have to tear that word apart now because e is our verb. So, non, look at this. Non, ce n'est pas mon frère. That is not my brother. Do you understand, I hope, why it has to become ce? Because we have to separate that C from the E because the N has to go there. Because remember, N goes in front of the verb and E is our verb. So, non, ce n'est pas mon frère. That's my uncle. C'est mon oncle. That's my uncle. All right. Et alors, nous allons apprendre des mots nouveaux. Now, we are going to learn some new words. Mots nouveaux. Now, I want to put that sentence up to you, what I just told you. Et alors, nous allons apprendre des mots nouveaux. And alors is like so. So, nouveau is one of those I mentioned earlier that ends in an E-A-U. And when it becomes plural, we do what to it? We put an X on it. All right. Now, we're going to talk more about negatives later. In the last few minutes of our class time today, I want to give you a few more words that talk about places you can go. So we can use now the negative, I am not going there, I am going there. We can really bring those negatives in now. So let's get ready to write with our cahier et un crayon au stylo. And let's get ready to write down some more places in town that we can go. Fun things to do. First of all, there's the movie theater, which is this one, le cinéma. Le cinéma. And of course, that accent tells us it's going to sound like that E, instead of All right, I know here's a word you've heard before. Le château. Le château, which means the castle. Now, if you're in France, you can visit lots of castles, and I recommend you do because they're incredible. And they're very old, lots of history there. And so, le château is the castle. Now, just really quick, it ends in an E-A-U. How would I say the castles plural? You got it. I'll have to put an X on it. And I'll turn le into les châteaux. All right. So next one, the port. While you're in France, you may want to visit some port cities for sure. They are awesome. I've been to some as well. Le port. Le port. And now we get to something that you may initially say, I don't think so. L'opéra. L'opéra. The opera or the opera house. Now that word, by the way, is masculine. Okay. L'opéra is masculine. And you might say, well, not a lot of people go to the opera. Well, let me tell you, there's the famous opera house in Paris that you must see if you go. It's great, and a lot of history and culture there as well. And so that might be something you very well want to see, even if opera isn't your thing. Now, here's one of our places we go often, le restaurant. Le restaurant, the restaurant. The stadium. Le stade. Le stade. Yep, especially what sport is popular in Europe. You got it, soccer, which they call football. And so you may very well want to go to a stadium. All right. The next one, the museum. Le musée. Le musée. The museum. Lots of museums. There's the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. There's the Musée the Louvre. The Louvre has got all kinds of famous things in there. I've been there several times. And just a quick culture note, if you're going to the Louvre, you need to plan on spending the entire day there, if not 2, 3, or 4 days, because you're never going to cover everything in a couple of hours. And there's too much to see. Lots of cool stuff there. Now, the next one is le café terrasse. A café is a cafe, just like here. Terrasse means outside. Okay, so le café terrasse. A quick culture note. One of the favorite things to do in France, especially in Paris, is people watch. People sit at a café terrasse and they have something to drink, a coffee or some, something to eat, and they just sit and enjoy the ambience and the environment. They just love watching the people go by. It's just something they do, people watching. And so you do that very commonly at a café terrasse. And they're everywhere. They're lots of fun, very relaxing to go to. Now, this one's a kind of a tough word to say. We've got an accent on the E, so I'm going to say it slow. L'aéroport. Airport. And airports are masculine. L'aéroport. L'aéroport. You got to practice that one a few times. The theater, very common. Le théâtre. Le théâtre. And that's typically a theater where a play goes on, not like a movie theater. We talked about that a while ago. Le cinéma. An office or the office is le bureau. Le bureau. All right, keep practicing those. Next time we're together, we're going to look at those in sentences and in questions. I look forward to seeing you next time on Parlons Francais.